Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Marvel Legends Cyclops in his blue and yellow X-Factor costume, part of the Nemesis, Holocaust, whatever you want to call it. He's Holocaust to me. Wave of X-Men Marvel Legends. You guys know X-Men's my thing, so I'm happy to review X-Men figures, and I'm especially happy when they're pretty good. This one's okay. It's not terrible. But, well, okay, so let's go ahead and get him off the stand so we can take a closer look. Alright, before we look at the figure, I do want to show you my package. I still like these new packages because they're nice and square, no weird curvy shapes or anything like that. Good windows, that's nice. X-Men, Cyclops, yeah, it's all good. Shows Cyclops on the side there, shows him on the back there, shows him on that side there. They know what he's supposed to look like. They put it all over the box. Unfortunately, that's what we got. Why are all of their blue figures purple? Why does that keep happening? Who was it the other day? Do I have it out still? Yeah, Spider-Boy. He was the wrong color also. Anyway, this guy stands just over 6.5 inches, just a touch, maybe 6 5/8. It's going to be about, let's say, 16.6 centimeters. Here he is up against, oh goodness. Here he is up against Darwin, who is somehow always in some kind of pose. So there's a little bit of creep going on here for sure on this Vulcan body, which this is, by the way. It is straight up Vulcan, almost literally. Obviously they changed what they had to, but that's what we have here. So, by the way, if you want this guy, he's available at the Big Bad Toy Store. I'll put a link in the description below. I don't know if you're going to want to, though, but maybe. There's some stuff about this guy that's kind of cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into a question of the day. Which look for Cyclops is your favorite? Now, you might think, knowing me, that I am all about the Jim Lee, like the cartoon look for him with the hair out, the yellow straps, the blue costume, and I am, but I am partial to the blue and white with the cap on the head, because I had that toy when I was a kid. Okay, so this guy, it is Vulcan body, which is not a bad overall look. Like, it definitely needs a little bit of work here and there for being a brand new body. It should be better, but it's not bad. The legs are still kind of tubular, but we're moving in the right direction. Overall proportioning much better than we've seen on a lot of their figures. So that's a good thing. Paint job on this guy. Well, other than what's necessary, there isn't any. There's no shading or anything like that to make him look like a collectible figure. The only paint we have is whatever they needed to do, blue or yellow, depending on the piece. And most of the yellow is molded, which is good in a sense because it's hard to paint yellow over blue. Unfortunately, they did do that. They did paint yellow over blue in a few places. And on the butterfly joint, it is, oh gosh. They didn't even do a very good job of it. There's clearly blue next to the yellow there, but the yellow paint on here is just disgustingly bad. On the shoulders, it's not quite as bad, but it's still not good. So that's a problem. The X itself is not too bad. I'll take that. It's clean enough, but then we don't have any paint going on here because they split the arms on the Vulcan body like we saw on all the figures that use the Vulcan body because they're cheap, and we're going to see the same thing on their maximum effort Spider-Man figure, which is not really maximum effort, it's minimum. Then we have some more paint down here, which is not as bad as the upper parts, but still not good. You can see a lot of blue poking through. Then the rest is molded, so we have a lot of molded plastic, and the yellow, by the way, very transparent. You can even see, hopefully you can see on camera, but you can see the blue peg for the arm inside the yellow there, just ever so slightly. So it does look really, really cheap. If this guy was painted well, he'd look great, because it's not a bad body at all. I mean, like I said, there's things I would change for sure, but paint would really go a long way on this guy. As for the head sculpt, well, it is what it is. I don't know. I don't remember if he's supposed to look this way or not with the little circles being blue. I'm guessing they got it right. I didn't even think to check that because I didn't remember it being a thing even, but that's the way they did it. I'm guessing it's right. Or is it supposed to just be the front visor? I'm going to have to look it up now. Damn it. Okay, so I always thought it was just his ears that were blue behind the yellow visor, but some of the drawings do make it look like this. Some of it make it look like his ears, so I'm going to let it slide this time. But the head itself, he's got the grin on his face, and I don't know how people are going to feel about that. I'm not really thrilled with it, and I'm not really thrilled with the overall look. He looks like Sam Jackson's character in The Incredibles. There's something about this that looks really weird to me. It looks really Pixar and toyish. And I don't mean like collectible, I mean like it looks like a little kid's toy of a superhero. Something is a little bit weird. Now luckily we can salvage that with the alternate head to some degree, but the base figure is just very minimal, very mediocre. By the way, the blues don't match. You can see his crotch, very different from the blues right next to it. This blue is different than this blue, so there's like 3 different blues, I would say. And this body, like I said, already has its own share of problems. We'll get to that in the articulation. But we have to talk about the feet because he does have the Crocs, or the duck feet, which are just really not superhero-shaped feet at all. So yeah, it's not a very good figure. It is acceptable if you are a Marvel Legends collector. This is going to fit right in. It's not going to stand out in any way at all because it's completely reused parts except for the head, and I think the mouth is even like the same sculpt as the animated one, but it's probably not. It's just very close. So aesthetically speaking, I'm going to give this guy a 5 out of 10. The yellow being painted terribly ruins it, and otherwise it is just a new head on a reused body. No excuses. As for accessories, we do get an alternate head with the yelling face, which is awesome. It's pretty well sculpted. The paint job's not great in there, but it's okay. He has no choice but to use a blast effect, though. Unless there's some way to get the red part out of the normal head, which I could not do, you have to use a blast effect. So you do get one, and it's kind of cool. The front part of it, which I don't really understand, frankly, it's nice and crystal clear. It's like a very nice, saturated, clear red. This part is a lot milkier, kind of pinkish. Not in love with that. And then it's also smooth on the top and textured on the bottom rather than textured on both parts. And you have to put it in a certain way, so if you're looking at it from the top, you only get the smooth part. If you're looking at it from the bottom, you only get the textured part, and that's a really weird choice. And then as far as the effect itself goes, this only works if there's something it's hitting, right? Like, you don't want to not use it because it looks bad. But if you use it, it looks silly unless he's shooting somebody with it. So it's actually kind of a not so good accessory, and they didn't even give you something to pop in there when you're not using it. So that kind of sucks, honestly. And then otherwise, you just get the 2 fist hands and then the 2 alternate hands. It's not a very good spread. It looks like it is at first, but it's deceptive because it's kind of a crappy blast effect that goes on a pretty cool head, but to me, that's not enough. I'll give him a 7 out of 10, but the fact that you're stuck using the blast effect is crap, and I don't think it's a very good blast effect, practically speaking. And it's not executed well because it's 2 different colors. Okay, so yeah, not thrilled so far. And let's move on to the articulation, though we've seen it all before. It's the Vulcan body. He can look up, he can look down, he can rotate side to side, but because it's on that antiquated joint, that's it. That's it. Butterfly joint on this guy, it's passable. Goes forward, goes back, doesn't have a whole lot of range, but it is there. Doesn't have a lot of range. It's a freaking brand new body, like what, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago? Doesn't freaking work. Alright, so the shoulders go up to horizontal, full rotation, that's fine. Bicep swivel is fine. Double jointed elbow, full range there. Wrists have a swivel and a hinge, it's all pretty standard. Ab crunch on this guy, goes back. Oh boy, that is an ugly ab crunch. Not even counting the paint. It's just sculpted poorly. So yeah, it does lean back, and then the paint is terrible when you lean him back. Leaning him forward's okay, but it's not good on the back. It's really poorly sculpted. Then you get your waist twist. Hips go out to the side a little bit better than 45. Not impressive. Going forward. Not even fully forward. Go back just a little bit. Thigh swivel is a thigh swivel. Double jointed knees on the knees that don't match. Oh man. Very tight joint. Good range though. Decent knee. You do get your boot swivel if you want that. And then for your ankles, they go all the way back and all the way forward, and you get a decent ankle rocker. Ankles are very loose on this guy though, so his articulation is completely par for the course. It is their new standard body, so it's gonna literally be the par for the course. I'll go 7 out of 10. I guess it's fine. Alright, now it's time for the final verdict. Is this a good pickup? Only if you're trying to fill rosters and really like Cyclops. Otherwise, it's a really half-assed figure. The paints are terrible. The sculpt is fine. Accessories are acceptable. Kind of, except you can't really use them that many ways. So I'm going to give this guy an overall rating of 6 out of 10. The yellow paint job is just so bad that I can't go higher than 6 out of 10. And the fact that you can't use the yelling head without the goofy, miscolored, very specifically useful blast effect, that's a problem too. So, I don't know, it's just typical Hasbro, not really good enough. But that's it for me, so thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down, and if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel, so make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.